Hey everybody, it is Mama Radha. I missed you guys. I have been ridiculously busy. Life is just constantly full of ups and downs. You get these curveballs that just come at you. You're like, what the heck? I don't know how much I want to really tell my business, but, I think that I'm probably not the only one that this has happened to. And basically, we found out over the last 6 years, we have this house built and it's beautiful. Like it's our dream house. My husband worked his butt off for years with the goal of being able to have a house like this. It's over what, I don't know, 3,460 or 3,600 square feet. Under air and 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, a loft, a big dining room. I mean, just like the whole thing, we waited so long to be able to get this. So anyway, as it turns out, our mortgage company, we have our escrow and homeowners insurance all wrapped up in our mortgage payment. And they just hired a new company to take their payments. And I guess they went through all their files or whatever you want to call it, clients and information, and realized that they were undercharging us on our escrow by like thousands of dollars, and they want us to pay it like now, like all of it in a lump sum. And so I've been like losing sleep because we could sell it and by far make a wonderful profit on it, but it's so hard to think about leaving the home that you built, and all the kids have their own room. Now we have a spare bedroom since my second oldest is, married, moved out. We've got the fence, we've got 3 dogs, 2 rabbits, a hamster and a gecko leopard lizard, and just all of our stuff. And to think about moving, it just so suddenly is really upsetting. The market really did a number on, pulling out extra money and things like that. It's like we're in recovery mode as far as our investments go. Good Lord. At least they were good ones, but still, it's just everybody took a hit. So, and there, it's the most frustrating thing is trying to communicate with these people. It's like you call one department and they transfer you to like every other department, and every department says it's not their problem, it's someone else's problem. And so I've been trying to avoid calling attorneys and dealing with all that. We had issues way back in the 2008 crash with our condo, and like attorneys could do nothing. It was like they could never get in touch with people to get anything resolved. It's very, very annoying. I don't know. So, I mean, I know you're not supposed to be attached to things so much, and just, at least we would make a profit, and we could find a place to rent till we bought it, built a new house and all these kind of things. But as a mom, and a wife and all that, my little nesting home, it's like very disruptive to me. And I'm like, and especially when it's kind of, I feel like it was being forced on us when, we did everything we thought we were supposed to be doing. And then they're going to say, oops, we messed up, but you have to pay like now. So we'll see how it goes. So, that's been weighing heavily on me. I've been falling into kind of a blue funk, and just my program out the window. I got to start over. I'm holding strong though. It'll be eight months on Wednesday. No sminking. I think I might want to be smoking and drinking, but I'm not. So no drinking, no smoking, no cigars, no 420, nothing. I've been very, very good. So the last couple of days were rough. I really felt like breaking down, but I was like, I'm so close to 8 months. Just keep going. Counting's been helping me a lot. So, and then I don't even know if I want to tell you guys, but I just will, because it's life. My daughter, again, we have 3 older boys, and my daughter's the youngest. And, the oldest one was the most hard-headed. He got the most whippings by daddy. But the other 3 learned pretty quick. They were really good kids. All of them were really good kids. The trouble my eldest got into was like drawing on the walls when he was a kid, and stuff like that. It was never, they never did anything really bad. Anywho, my daughter's been going through like one of those sort of expressive, not necessarily rebellious, but expressive phases where she's like, I'm going to dye these parts of my hair, just these little 2 strands pink. And I'm going to, and I want a nose ring and all these type of things. And I'm like, "Ay, Mia." I said, "Well, we are half Indian. I can accept that because it's part of your heritage. But, I'd like you to wait. You're in your senior year of high school and all this kind of stuff." Anyway, so, you know, uh, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. That's probably as much as I'm going to say. She's a good girl, but I just told her that listening to your parents is very important, because otherwise, how are you going to listen to your husband? And you need to listen to your husband. So, you know, anyway, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's just life. And I was talking to my youngest sister again, who's 35, and I'm 47. It sounds so crazy. I was 12 when she was born, and I took care of her while my mom worked, because my mom went to school full time and worked full time. And I took care of my middle sister, who was 7 when she was born. So it was a lot of responsibility for a 12-year-old, I'll tell you. It was. But, it taught me a lot, and I was happy to be a mother. I was excited about it. I was like, let's go. I love kids. So anyway, but, she has worked her way up in her career to become basically partners with the engineering firm that she's at, and she doesn't want to just let that go. So she's got the baby in school, which is daycare, and the baby's been sick the entire time. The first couple months here that she's been trying to get him in there. I think she started him at 4 months, and he's about to be 6 months, and he's been consistently sick, which is what I told her was going to happen. And I wasn't trying to be mean. I wasn't trying to be Debbie Downer, but I was letting her know, for someone who doesn't like to be sick, because my sister is sensitive to sinus infections and things like that. I said, "Honey, I'm just letting you know, it happens with everyone, even teachers that start to teach. That first year, if not a little longer, kids are constantly sick when they go to school, especially babies. But, even your little preschoolers, 3, 4, 5 years old, they've been home all this time in a protective bubble, and then you just throw them in there with all these germs. And most places don't clean like they should clean, but even if they clean a reasonable amount, there's just germs. They can't help it. The babies are drooly, and there's this, there's that, they're touching it, and it just is what it is. I remember watching a thing on the news that showed under a blue light, after a whole day of, I can't remember if it was one baby had, a soil diaper, and how it spread, the E. coli or germs or whatever, spread through the entire nursery. But regardless, it just showed all the germs for the whole day, and it was just the whole place was lit up. I mean, it's just what it is. So, she's upset because she's been home so much with the baby, and he was only going maybe 4 hours a day. And he's a happy kid, so, they'd send pictures of him finger painting. He's 4 or 5 months old, right? But it's fine, singing, sitting on the lap, reading books, and all this kind of fun stuff. And I'm just thinking, even if there's 2 women and there's 6 babies, it's still a whole experience. Good Lord. But anyway, so she's been having to stay home quite a bit. I said, how much can you do from home? Can you work from home? During the pandemic, everybody was on Zoom and they just made it happen. Or is there any way you can stay home the first year? And, I said a lot of women end up staying home because she's paying for the daycare school, whether he goes or not. They charge them to hold that child's spot, which a lot of people know, whether they're there, blah, 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 I can't talk today, whether they're there 1 day a week, 2 days a week, or the whole week, or not at all. They pay that money, and it's good money they're paying. So she's insistent. I said, what about a nanny? This, that, the other. Could you just arrange to go in 1 day a week or 2 days a week or whatever, and have someone come to the house on those days? But I'm telling you, that's why families should live closer together. And, back in the day, seems like forever ago now, grandmothers didn't work and they were there to help out your aunties or whatever. But now these days everybody's working. I think my mother literally just retired, but they don't live close together, so she can't really help. And it's just sad. So I wish her luck. She's very determined not to. She doesn't want to stay home 100% of the time, even though I was like, well, all those fun things that they're doing with the baby, you could do with the baby. No offense. You could paint with them. You can sing songs with them. You can read books with them, which, of course, she's doing some of that anyway. But take them on little field trips. There's a different amount of germs you're exposing him to, taking him to a library, having him in a stroller, looking at a couple books, versus he's stuck in a classroom with like 6 to 8 other babies, and they're sharing toys and they're all in the same vicinity, breathing the same air, etc., etc. So, again, I'm trying not to be a bossy, annoying older sister, but I'm also trying to let her know, if you think it's going to get better anytime soon, I hate to tell you, boo, you might as well just be prepared that he's going to get sick a lot. And I feel so bad about that. I don't remember what age babies can take some vitamin drops, but as soon as he can, the better, if she's determined to keep him in there, which I think she is. So God bless and good luck. What are you going to do? I just don't know. I mean, it makes me a little sad because that's the only child they're going to have. Her husband was an only child and sees nothing wrong with just having one child. So be it. So it's like, well, this time is going to go by so fast and he'll be grown before you know it. And what if he takes his first steps and you're at work? What if he says his first words and you're at work? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'm very grateful. My kids, we were doing a little group text, and I was like, I'm sorry in the areas I failed you as a mother, and if there are things I could have done differently, is there anything I could do differently now? And they're like, Mom, we love you. You guys are, we're so blessed to have you as our parents, and and they know I haven't been a perfect mom, especially for the few years where I had those 3 years where I was like really stressing out and smoking and drinking too much, whatever. And I was just trying to figure stuff out. I was having my little breakdown there. But I still, through all that, tried to make sure that I did whatever needed to be done for my kids. That I always took care of my husband, always took care of the kids. But when I had downtime, I was like, woo, researching and learning and thinking and trying to face my fears is what I was really doing. I was trying to face my fears. And now that I've been past all that, I'm like, I wasted so much time, But I'm glad that I was brave to face my fears. And then I'm glad that I was able to face my fears now without any substances. That's the real test. You can always have some false sense of strength when you're drinking or smoking or whatever. But I mean, through everything, my husband is so loving to me and so encouraging and so kind and always believes in me, and as discouraged as he gets around, stupid things going on in the world, he's like, it's okay, baby. We're going to make it. We're going to have what we need, more than enough. We'll take care of our family, whatever's going on in the world. And to have that is so amazing. I can't even tell you. And I was telling him yesterday that his love is like Christmas morning. And everybody may have a different experience with Christmas morning. And we didn't grow up with money at all. People thought we were gypsies because we moved like every 2.5 years. My dad was not super great at keeping a job, which is probably why my mother took the initiative and got her 13 degrees and everything else. But Christmas morning was always special. It was always magical. Somehow, they made it happen. We woke up and there's just all these gifts. And it was always just beautiful and fun and surprising and loving, you know. I told my husband that's what his love is like to me, like Christmas morning. And I feel bad that since I've been in a rut, you know, that when he came home at night, you know, sometimes I've just been kind of like, wow. And I miss how much I was really on my game. You know, I was smoking, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I should be able to do that whether I was smoking or not. But all my cute outfits, you know, just exercising, being in shape, you know, getting my sun, wearing my heels, doing all these things. I enjoyed it so much. And I could see how when I went out the most simplest places, I was an encouragement to other people because I just kind of radiated fun, exuberance, life, happiness, joy, you know, pretty, something pretty, the clothes and everything. So it's like, I definitely think that some depression runs in my family line. I know my father's mother had problems with depression, and she drank herself to death. So I never got to meet her. Rest in peace, Grandma. But you know, so it's something that I keep an awareness of, that I can't allow this thing that wants to keep coming back when something's going wrong, or feel like several things are going wrong at the same time, to overtake me, you know. So it's nice to have someone else, because you'll encourage each other. And having children, oh boy. When I look at my kids and say, how would I want them to think about a situation, or how would I want them to deal with the situation? And I say, okay, well, I wouldn't want them to get stuck in a self-pity, self-despair, depression. I would want them to look at the best and try their best and know that, you know, tomorrow's always a new day. They can do better and they can make it happen. You know, you don't win every time. You're not successful every time, but overall, having that positive attitude. So having kids really makes you face yourself. And it's helped me constantly check myself over time. Like, okay, well, I wouldn't want this for my kids, so I can't accept it for myself, because otherwise I'm teaching them to accept it for themselves. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And then I look at other people who have totally succumbed to their addictions and their whatever crazy cycle rut that they're stuck in for years. And they've just accepted it, and they just live that way, and they're setting a bad example for their kids, and just saying, here, kids, this is all the love I have to give to you. I see you a couple times a year. I know I'm your mother. I'll talk to you on the phone, but, you know, sorry I can't get my life together. And I'm just like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. You know, and the last Mr. Samuel's, rest in peace, video that I was watching, I can't remember which one because I watched so many, but he was saying, a girl asked him, should a stay-at-home mom be honored the same as a woman who gets her PhD and does well in her career? And he was saying, you know, basically like, they should both be honored, but in different ways. And in my mind, I was thinking, shoot, the stay-at-home mom that actually sews into her children and teaches them and isn't eating bonbons, you know, Piggy Bundy on the couch, she deserves greater honor, in my opinion, unless you're out there curing cancer or something, or, you know, you got some kind of a job that you truly help people change their lives. If you have children, it's your job to mold and shape the eternal souls of the next generation of human beings. You are responsible for what the next people turn out to be like. And as you can see by society, mamas ain't been doing a good job. You know, the selfishness of saying kids will be fine. Basically, it's like they oversee their basic needs to survive: food, shelter, make sure they're going to school, get their basic doctor's appointments, whatever. But that's not the same thing as if you knew that your child was going to be something great. How much would you teach them to read? Not just read your ABCs, cat, dog, but books that, successful people have read, like their top 10 list: Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's a whole list of books that I have. And, what's the other one? The Richest Man in Babylon. Excellent story. It's a parable on what to do with your money. I mean, these are books that like the most successful people, self-made millionaires, have read and changed their life. So all these kind of things, the average person, the average mother is not doing that with their kids. They aren't teaching them an instrument. They aren't teaching them art. They're not teaching them culture. They're not teaching them about other countries and there's so much in the world to teach your children. The more you teach them, just the more possibilities they have, because the more their imagination can just do amazing things. And Jim Rohn always said that a formal education will make you a living, but a self-education will make you a fortune. And he'd always say that only 3% of the country has a library card, when all the knowledge of the world is in those libraries, in those books, and you can literally learn anything you want to learn. Now we have the internet, you could, but that with the library, because people still need to know how to read books. It can't just be, you can learn a lot online, but you need to also be able to read books. There's a different part of your brain that you use when you're reading than when you're just visually watching. Together, both things are incredible. And if the internet ever goes dark, probably someday things will happen, you got to be able to know how to go back to the old school, your hard copies, and read and learn and assimilate. I'm just saying. So an actual book versus your tablet or your Kindle or whatever those things are called, those notebooks that you read from, an actual book is better for your brain. So, yeah. Anywho, that's just my sort of catch-up rant for today, and see what else I can come up with later. It's just rough. I know that everybody probably goes through their own seasons and their own times of feeling down. And I can tell you that, my God, I am so grateful that, that I married young, that I've had a lifetime of dedicating my life to my husband, who loves me so much more today than when we were 14 years old, when we were 23 years old. Every year he loves me more, because I am faithful, loyal. I've been there supporting him. I've got his back. I believe in him, and take care of him, do everything that I'm supposed to do to the best of my human ability. And I'm understanding of his faults, frailties, failures, whatever, and still believe in him. And so God bless him. I'm telling you, that's the way. That's why nature set it up the way it was set up. And women always want to go to, well, I'm afraid if I give up my beautiful youthful years, that later when I'm older, he's going to leave me. But I'm telling you, if you have a good-willed man and you do your best the majority of the time, you guys are going to make it, and he's going to love you more than anything. If I had stayed single, or if I divorced early because he went out and partied too much, or whatever reason I came up with, I want him to be more like these Herbalife guys. He doesn't want to do Herbalife with me, so I need to find somebody else, or something stupid. I can't even imagine the life of pain that I would have had, being younger, seeing different people, and and then being older and feeling so old like I do. If I didn't have the love of my life, I don't know what I would do. I would be extremely depressed because I feel like I look like crap. 3 years from 50, I feel like I look like crap. And, I need to work on myself. But regardless of all that, I can't imagine feeling like this, hitting the wall like hard, and being single. That would be something that I couldn't bear. And I'm just grateful I did things the way that I did. All right. Anyway, love you guys. Ciao. Bye.